We're headed back to the North Georgia mountains. Usually that means talking Bigfoot at the Sasquatch Research Center. But anyways, today we're hunting a different kind of legend. We're looking for things that are just as hard to find, but sound better on a turntable. We're tracking down the owner of Deaf Man Vinyl in Blue Ridge, Georgia. A must-stop mountain stop for anyone who lives for the find. It's Bigfoot. It's him. All right, Steffen, so Blue Ridge, Georgia, it's pretty squatchy.
Very squatchy.
Yeah, I thought
Very
so.
squatchy.
Yeah.
Strange things running across the road at night. Yes. Giant piles of scat, which is the polite way to say poop. Yes, we have no idea what's running around in these woods.
Yeah, so look, I've been up there and I did a seminar at the Sasquatch Research Center. It's right there on the main road coming in. I'm sure everybody... That's a real place for real things to talk about Bigfoot. It's not just a tourist trap. That's real things happen there, correct?
Always packed, too. That guy is laughing his way to the bank, man.
That's what we all need, and that's why we're kind of talking to you today, because you're in a cool area, Blue Ridge, Georgia, north of town, about an hour and a half, and it just feels like you're 100 miles away from anything, and it's super cool. We did stay there with Visit Blue Ridge, or Escape to Blue Ridge, I think is the name of the company. And we were at the top of a mountain. There was maybe another house right there. We took our Bluetooth speaker out and about, 11, 12 o'clock at night, so quiet, downloaded a wildlife app and really just started making noises on the, the Bluetooth. And you could hear the other cabins in the valley going, is that a cougar?
Oh my gosh.
So that's a little inside tip, late night apps. Anyways, let's get into why we're really here. If Blue Ridge had a sound musically, what would the sound of Blue Ridge actually be?
Interesting. Probably a strumming Martin guitar, acoustic guitar. There are more front porch shade tree pickers in this town. There's more musical talent. Talent that's come in and talent that was born and raised here. And so we are in the heart of Appalachia. There are more pickers and players around here than you can shake a stick at. I was very excited. I moved from South Florida, South Texas to South Florida, and then up here. Very excited to be part of that kind of that Appalachian musical tradition. I love a good song about playing cards with the devil and hanging out in a dark holler and faithless women and, some dobro and a little mandolin. Love it. Absolutely love it.
All right. You mentioned South Florida. We're in Florida. We're not going to disclose exactly where, but we're in Florida. We're definitely not in South Florida. What were you doing in South Florida before all this started?
So my background is I started out as a journalist, print journalist. If anybody remembers newspapers, I wrote for newspapers, magazines. Realized I'd taken a vow of poverty doing that and actually sold my soul and got into advertising and marketing and came up to Atlanta. I was a creative director for a number of years. My wife and I ran our own shop, did a lot of work with Chick-fil-A in Atlanta. So yeah, I'm a copywriter, a writer by trade. And about 5 years ago, just decided running a record store beats working, man. So that's what we're doing.
I don't believe that it's not work, but I do want to talk about the decision to drop everything and open up a store in the heart of Blue Ridge. It seems like you're in a great place. So tell me the moment you decided to do it and what that took.
Well, I think it was a sign from on high. I came downstairs about 7 years ago and rediscovered the joy of listening to music. Had never given up on vinyls, toted it around from 16-year-old me to 56-year-old me. Never got rid of it, but came down that particular day with a cup of coffee in my bathrobe and gosh, I think I put on It's a Beautiful Day, White Dove, which is a great Sunday song. Sat between two speakers, read the liner notes, touched the album cover. And it's like, oh my gosh, I missed this. And so got back into that. And as I got back into it, needed a supply, needed stuff. So I was getting on eBay and Discogs and buying. And wound up buying a really nice, about 800 disc collection here in town and started selling on eBay, started selling on Discogs. And my wife's a web designer, so she made us a
Nice.
little website. And Google Maps kind of turned us into Deaf Man Vinyl. And so I would get calls from people. It's like, hey, man, I'm trying to find your store, but I think I'm in somebody's driveway. I'm like, yeah, you are. And I sent probably about 4 or 5 folks away. And then finally, I kind of took the sign and said, yeah, come on back, man. We'll go down in the basement. We'll shoot the stuff. And, he wound up buying $300 worth of records. And so I was like, okay, now I'm not dumb. That sounds like something. And so we just had a pop-up shop in the basement for a while. And I've got a son who's an instigator, Trey, just pushes. How about what if? And we said, how about what if? And we opened our first store literally on a Saturday, could not close the door, and Sunday had COVID, and somebody sneezed on us and had COVID. This was right in the height of COVID. And, you get superstitious, you get irrational. He's like, they're never going to come back. We got to close for a week and they'll never come back. Well, we got better and they did come back even in COVID. And so we were the next town over, a little town called McKaysville, Georgia, where the tourist train drops everybody off, and needed to kind of get our feet under us, and ran that store for about 2 years, and then had an opportunity to come into Blue Ridge, which is big time. So we're in downtown Blue Ridge, paying big boy rent, but we get big boy traffic through there.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool.
That's super important. And now that you're anchored there, it is a great spot for a record shop. And I regret that when we were there, either we didn't see you or you weren't there yet, but we had come up about maybe a year after COVID, and just stay there for a week on spring break. And it's an amazing town. It is a great place to go visit, as are many of the North Georgia towns. But as a record shop owner of Deaf Man Records, you wake up every day and your number one thought is what?
Ooh, that's a good question. How can we find the right thing for our market? And we're constantly looking at products. We're looking at records. I come home with a wad of pink Post-it notes for people who have turned me on to bands or artists, and I'm doing the recon on that. I'm looking at the summer festivals, who's playing, who's happening. And we've got some sources from our distributors, some intel from them. So always looking, what's going to be the next best thing? What's going to give us some credibility? Maybe it's not going to sell, but somebody's going to come in and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe you got this. You guys are a real record store. So yeah, that's the number one. When you're in retail, every day you're waking up, what's going to sell, what's going to please people, what's going to have people coming back, what's going to have people telling their friends about you. So yeah.
I get it. So a lot of stores are 90% used. Some are 100% new. What do you guys try to keep your ratio at to kind of hit some of the new and really kind of get those people that want to dig a little bit?
Yeah, it's wild. We definitely are atypical. We sell about 70% new vinyl to about 30% used vinyl, which is challenging because the margins on new vinyl are infinitesimal. And I talk to people that were in the business back in the day, and they've always been infinitesimal. Margins obviously higher if you buy smart, buy used, but we're all out there fighting for the same collections. Up here, we've got a lot of kind of thrift store, antique malls where guys will buy a corner for a couple $100 a week or a month, and they'll be a record store. So we're competing against them, competing against other record stores. It's a beast that must be fed, and it is hungry, and it's hard to find food for it sometimes.
I think the big shiny lights down in Blue Ridge and having a store there is kind of like your megaphone. I mean, people do like going to a real store, and they like going to try and find Grails. This is a myth or a fact. all store owners keep all the good grails for themselves?
So,
Seriously. Come
the
clean.
drug, the drug dealers say that you're not supposed to sample the product ever. And so, if I get a collection of 1,000, I might keep 3 records for myself.
Good for you.
Yeah, I love sending people upstairs knowing that they're gonna find something. But yeah, I've got a pretty good collection anyway, and so there's Graily stuff that I'm always on the lookout for. But yeah, I don't keep a lot of what we bring in.
I love the word grail. It seems like there's a select amount of grails that we're all supposed to go after. I kind of got away from that so quickly. I really go for the ones that make me excited. I can't believe I even see it sitting there. And I don't care if anybody else likes it. I went crazy for a promo copy of Bobby Brown, My Prerogative, that album, because I loved him growing up, and
Yeah.
I had never seen it anywhere. So when I got it, that was one of my grails. You know, I've Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation, another thing. I hadn't seen that anywhere, but that I finally got. There's others. There's some Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I think the word grail is just funny to use because I don't know what a grail is. If you told me the Beatles are the grails, I hate to say it, I won't have that in my collection. I just don't listen to them, and that's just me. Everybody else has their own stuff. So, what is your grail? Like, what as a store owner, if you're gonna kind of talk to people about what you collect and what you really like at your house, tell me what a grail or two at your house is for you.
So I love AC/DC. I know
Yeah.
they're not the hippest band, but I
What?
love some AC/DC, love some Thunder from Down Under,
Yes.
and I have been trying to track down some of the early Australian pressings
Mm-hmm.
of their work, and actually found a copy of Dirty Deeds, with the cartoon cover of, Bon Scott flexing his, Popeye muscle and, yeah, so I did find a copy of that and was excited, but yeah, that would be my grail. As if I could get the Aussie pressings of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think one for me. I don't know if you can see it back behind me, but I recently just traded a Fillmore Allman Brothers.
Yeah, I see that
That
back
was
there.
yeah. Well, that's the real one. That's the pink label. That's the real one. I traded my friend, a repress overseas one that was phenomenal, but that one showed up, and I spent extra money on that. But that's a big deal for me. I mean, that was kind of one of the ones that I always thought, oh, okay, when I start doing this, I want that album. So now I
Yeah.
have that one and cross it off the list and go from there. But tell me a band or two, being a shop owner, that you absolutely never thought of listening to, but your customers kept coming in, and after a while it kind of, you're like, okay, I got to give this a deep dive and see what this is all about. Is there a band that comes to mind?
This is super, super obscure. There's an artist out of Texas called Shiny Ribs.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I got to see what that is just because, that's a strange and kind of rollicking blues, kind of Americana sound, a New Orleans kind of funk sound too. So Shiny Ribs was one.
Okay.
My doctor just yesterday was telling me about his foray into Australian pop and told me about a band called My Cousin Tony's Firebird, I think, if I got it right. I'm gonna go check that one out. Like I said, I walk home with, Post-it notes, just a wad of Post-it notes, from people telling me to check things out. Um, yeah, that Shiny Ribs comes to mind. He, does a crazy cover of Bitch Better Have My Money.
Well, yeah, I like it. That's awesome. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
I think I've actually heard that. Uh,
Yeah, heavy.
yeah, I was tailgating or something. Really, you got to hear the this cover of this song. Let's make fun of ourselves here for a second because I've got one. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. There's a album in your collection that you wanted to look cool, but from peer pressure, you felt you had to have it, and it's in your collection, and you don't know why it's in your collection, and you never listened to it, but it is there because you just felt it had to be in there. Which album is that? You got one. Everybody has one.
Yeah. How about if I just tell you my guilty pleasure? I'm not sure if
No,
I
I want to know the one that you bought because you thought you had to have it. Everybody does the whipped cream, Herb Albert. or Herb Alpert, and everybody has that. That you got to cross that. I'm not accepting that one. There's
Right.
there's one that you got that you were like, okay, now I got it. And people are doing it or talking about it, and now I kind of feel cool, but you don't ever listen to it.
All right. So this is blasphemy.
Mine is bad too.
We will get killed or flamed for this.
It's okay. Mine will too. Trust me, it will.
I was told if I did not like Radiohead that there was something the matter with me, and there's something the matter with me. I'm not. I think what did I get? Hail to the Thief or something like that, or OK Computer, because I got shamed into it, and yeah, I don't listen to it.
Okay, that's perfect. I actually almost agree with you on that. I don't own any. My son likes them. All my friends like Radiohead. I get it, and I'm all supportive of people liking what they like. Trust me, mine is Joy Division. Everybody raves about that album, the Black Album with the little waves on it and everything.
Yep.
I can make it through a couple songs on there. I kind of want it to be New Order, but it's not. And so you get to that last song, and I was kind of listening to it. It's I Remember Nothing. Have you know that song? Do you know that song?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's like a seance of, killing pigs or something. I don't know what's going on in that song, but my wife came out and said, "What are you listening to? And turn that off." So it's really in my library. I get Joy Division totally. I get it. I think the what is it? Never Tear Us Apart. Love. Yeah. I wish that song was on there, and I'd probably listen to it more. But yeah, Joy Division's mine. I do have it. You can, if you like it, it's here for you to listen to, not me. In terms of biggest success stories for a customer that you got an album, you made somebody happy with an album. Either they found it there or you were able to find it for them. What was the album, and how did that play out?
I guess it's more. We have $3 crates. We're kind of the home of the $3 find, and people find their grails in that $3 box all the time. And these aren't junky records. They're just kind of 70s sea level kind of bands. Gosh, I can't think of one right off the top of the head, but invariably, at least once or twice a day, somebody comes in with a $3 rate. Was this really $3? Did you really? Is that a mistake? Did you mean that to be $3? And most of it's kind of 70s, like I said, kind of sea level bands that had a moment. Maybe they were proggy or guitar driven and just never really kind of made it. And so somebody's like recapturing their youth by finding that record. So I would say just in general, our $3 crates, we've got 2 outside and three upstairs. And so I get a lot of, "Are you sure about that?" I'm like, dude, if it's going to make you happy, $3 will do it.
$3 hollers. I like it.
Yeah.
Any, Blue Ridge it's a touristy town, a lot of the year. Any celebrities shop with you? Any sports athletes from the Atlanta area?
God.
Any famous people? You got any good stuff?
We are getting a complex, man. We've yet to have a celebrity sighting. So,
oh, are you serious?
When Ozzy was kicking around,
yeah.
We've got it's called Tank Town, USA, and you can crush cars with a tank. And he came up for that. Shaq comes up here. Yeah, I cannot believe we've not had a celebrity sighting yet. So,
all right, you got to carry Shaq's vinyl and his CDs back from when he was in college. If you start tagging him, say, "Hey, man, we've got these. Would you come help us sell them?" He might show up.
So I'm hoping with the reach of your mighty podcast,
let's go.
We're going to get some celebs in there.
Yeah, we'll tag Shaq on here. I'm actually hoping to get him. I went to college with him.
Did you really?
I don't personally know him, but I was in the Shaq Pack, so he would know me through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome times back there. But he was a DJ back in school in his dorm.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Hey, what do you do to find these collections that you end up selling? Do people approach you? Do you have to go out and stock churches and close down radio stations? What do you do?
So we're finally at the place where collections are starting to walk in. I go awesome. Guerrilla though, man. My Guerrilla mode is I had my wife make me up some of those almost like the campaign signs that go in a yard. And so I'm down in Atlanta looking around, putting them wherever I can at a 4-way intersection. Sometimes they last a day. sometimes they last 3 months, and it's
Wow.
weird. I get calls, and I have to figure out where they're calling from. All the family vehicles, my 2 sons, the wife, we have, I buy vinyl, magnetic signs, and so I'll get calls like, "Hey, man, I'm sitting behind you in traffic." I'm like, I'm sitting at my desk. I bet that's my son you're sitting behind." Do that. I'll take out ads in the paper, Facebook Marketplace, estate sales. It's
Yeah.
relentless. It's relentless.
Bunch of awesome people to hang out with at estate sales, right?
But oh my gosh, the most amazing stories when I go to somebody's house. And it's a weird thing. It's not like you're buying somebody's lawnmower. It
Right.
takes about 45 minutes from the time I show up for them to kind of size me up and go, okay, this guy's worthy of my collection. The
Hmm.
wife is who actually calls. She's like, well, Bob's got this and Bob's got this, and I want my closets back. And I show up and Bob's like, who's this schmo? And I'm like, well, Betty told me to come and get her closet space back. And I've had the most amazing conversations. And again, you've got about 45 minutes of, oh yeah, you got this album, remember this? And oh my gosh, I saw these guys live. It takes about 45 minutes of chit chatting and validating that, okay, and I tell people, we're going to get your collection back in circulation. It's not doing anybody any good sitting in a closet.
Yeah,
So
that is good. I've got your next corrugated sign.
what you got?
Did your husband cheat on you on a business trip? If so, sell us his vinyl.
Oh, I like that. I need to have a little more fun with those things. Yeah. Yeah.
You'll get a call on that. Anyways, yeah. So what about somebody that's bringing them in and you're going to buy it from them? Do you watch a lot of Pawn Stars and try and learn their negotiation tactics, which are basically, I can't buy that. What is it? What do they say? The best I can do. The best I can do is this, and then you guys go back and forth. I know if I were bringing in my Allman Brothers one, I would be like, it's $150, but you're like, I'm not going to be able to make any money at $150. How do you handle a customer like that?
So I got a friend here, a local guy, said, man, my daddy used to tell me if your offer doesn't embarrass you, you're you're not you're not you're offering too much. And so, yeah, I unfortunately am a pretty cruddy negotiator. I get excited. Um, I get caught up in the moment. My worst nightmare, I tell people, is that you're going to leave here and tell somebody that Deaf Man Vinyl ripped you off. And so I
Mm,
try to be very, very fair. Kind of the industry standard line that most stores will tell you is anywhere from a third to 50% of what we think we can sell it for. And so I'm kind of in there. It works out better if it's a big collection. The number sounds bigger at the end.
yeah.
Um, but I always tell people, if you've got anything particularly valuable, we'll pull it aside and we'll talk about it. Hang on, I'm going to grab something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this actually was a grail for me. The original Jimi Hendrix electric Ladyland, which I love, and is this was in a ladies collection, and I felt guilty. I had to pull it out and say, this is actually worth something. It's something I've always wanted, and so we negotiated, and she was thankful that I did that and played fair with them. So yeah, like I said, that's my worst nightmare. Is somebody going to say, they were unfair. They took me for a ride. Um, but yeah, it's challenging. You want to be fair, but I also know I've started kind of a formula where I come up with an offer and I immediately knock 10 to 15% off it because I know there's 10 to 15% there'll be error in there. There'll be a junker. It won't be what I thought it was. And so I knock 10 to 15% off the right at the get go.
I got you. So let's get some things out about your store. Your website is deafmanvinyl.com, correct?
Yep.
Cool. So you guys can go online and check them out, mainly to get there on April 18th because we have Record Store Day coming. And I kind of wanted to talk to a store about Record Store Day. And how many of these have you done, Steffen?
This will be our fourth, and we call it the fastest 45 minutes in retail, man. We spend a month getting ready. We spend the night before, get there early, get everything going, and in 45 minutes, it's over. You're just like, what just happened? But it is fun. We're a well-kept secret. Some Atlanta people are starting to get hip to the fact that they don't have to get up at 2:00 in the morning, get in line. They can drive up here at a semi-reasonable hour, get in line, get a coffee next door, and we open the doors at 9. So, yeah, it's safe. People line up. A lot of the kind of inner city, gritty neighborhood places have to have security and stuff like
Sure.
that. So yeah, been on 4 of them. Fastest 45 minutes in retail. Super fun. We, for 2026, ordered 118 releases.
Awesome.
Multiple copies of that. That's the biggest order we've ever placed. And, we're a small store in a small market, but there was just so many good choices. And RSD is a volunteer organization. We've got to know them. They're not pulling a paycheck. They're doing incredible work, and they did something really incredible, I think 2 years ago, and it's ongoing. It's called RSD Market. So RSD MRKT. And
Okay.
it basically is a way for us to sell anything that doesn't sell in the store on Sunday, 8:00 in the morning, it goes live. And so that's made it easy for us to buy 118 releases, knowing that if we don't sell them in store, they can go out on RSD Market, which basically is a clearinghouse, a conglomerator, where if I'm looking for the David Bowie release, I wasn't able to get it. Old way to do it was I had to get up in the morning and start calling record stores. Do you have one
Right.
left? Do you have one left? Do you have one left? And now you can go on RSD Market, put that in, and it'll show you how many copies are available in the country and what RSD stores have that, and you can get in touch with them. Because that's basically what I spend Sunday morning doing is answering calls from people saying, do you have this? Do you have that? And
Right.
now we can send them RSD Market. And it allows us to get bold and really stretch, knowing that we're not going to get stuck with records, that there's going to be a market for it. So a lot of fun. We pass out coupons for free coffee. There's a Mountain Mama's Coffees right next to us, and we bring coffee and donuts for everybody. And I get out there. That's my favorite probably time of the year is talk to my record people. I mean, some of them do get in line early in the morning, but it's a special thing.
What did you see on the list this year that you thought was just going to be hot? Give me like maybe three items that you think are going to be super hot.
So David Bowie has 2 releases. Those are kind of from his 1990s industrial art kind of era. Weezer has got a release. It was kind of a lost album that was discovered by their bassist. Blur, live at Budokan. That was 30 years ago, and it's the first time on vinyl. Jeff Buckley's got a live set. He's kind of been consistent seller, but really kind of blowing up in the wake of the documentary that's out there. And so we sell Grails pretty heavily. Flying Lotus, it's kind of their debut instrumental hip hop. It's first time are long out of print. And then I'm kind of an old 70s stoner, man. I love the Doors and the Dead, and every year pretty faithfully RSD unearths some Dead and some the Doors. The Doors have got kind of some newly unearthed material from the Strange Days session. So excited about that. And the Dead.
Those families are just digging up all
Yeah,
the tapes from. They're finding anything and putting it on vinyl right now. I'm going to come shop with you guys because you mentioned nothing that I'm actually going to Record Store Day for, which is awesome. That shows how diverse the list is. I'm after the Professor Longhair, the Tom Petty Live, Jurassic 5. I'm a massive rap group, that old style rap group type thing, and Jurassic 5 might be one of the last ones. Corey Wong, and then I'm abusive on Talking Heads. I mean, they could put out toilet paper and I'd probably buy it at RSD. So that one looked interesting. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Record Store Day is coming up. You can definitely see the list online and make a plan of attack. But you guys, the fastest 45 minutes, I like that. It's you should maybe do 2 drops. You should do the 8 a.m. when you open, then say, hey, we held out 400 albums to do a drop after lunch and make it a day, right?
Oh my gosh. We're not allowed to do anything fun with our RSD pledge. You know, we can't hold copies for anybody. Everything's kind of like, hey, did you get it? Yeah, I've got it, but you got to be there. But again, great organization. They're doing great work to support record stores.
I've got a line tactic. I've stood in line a couple times at our local store here in Seaside, Florida. Talk about the albums you're not going to get. If people say, hey, what are you in line for? Talk about all the other albums that you're not going to get. So it maybe puts a buzz in their head. Hey, I should really go after that one.
Right.
And then the other really good one, tell me if this is a good tactic, it might work with you guys, is the minute you cross the threshold to get in there, whatever your number 1 album is, look straight at an employee and say, where is it? Because sometimes people shuffle them in amongst all the other albums, and so you kind of have to go digging and do stuff. So I've always tended to find somebody I really know and say, where is the Better Nezra? And they just point and boom, just grab it. So.
Yep.
There's all kind of crazy tactics, but look, Steffen, I wish you the best of luck at your event, but for sure, as a tourism type town, if you're going up to North Georgia and staying in Ellijay or any of those areas, after you go to the Sasquatch Research Center and check out all of that stuff, which is important, it's going to happen, guys. They're going to find him. Go up there and find some awesome vinyl and know that there is a really cool shop owner that quit life and opened up a record store for us. And that's kind of what this whole purpose is. I hope there are other shops that are in cool places across the country that will give me a little tag and say, hey, this is our shop. Can you maybe have us on? I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I really like talking to people about vinyl records, finding cool stories, and learning a little bit. I like learning. I'm not going to be the most educated person on styluses or surface noise or needles, but I can tell you how long I'm listening to an Antibalas album right now, which is Both Sides and Give Me Another One. Do you know that group, Antibalas?
Yeah. I feel my pink Post-it note coming out.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're super awesome, and it's got a little of the Fela Kuti influence, the Afrobeat, and the instrumentalists. They're out of, I believe it's Brooklyn, New York. So it's a group of people, and they're awesome. I'm really addicted to them. These are albums that, again, I would never have found or listened to in its entirety if it was on Spotify or streaming. It takes a shop owner told me to try this band out. You buy these things, try this one. I said, play the first song. And he played the first song, and I was like, bring me up. I could already tell within a couple seconds. I was like, that's my genre. So my tip to you is talk to the people that work at these indie stores. That's what they do best. They know their inventory and they get to know what you buy. And then hopefully they can recommend some things. I've had some great Whatnot success this week on some funk albums just because they were like, you got to get this. It's a Philly funk person. So there you go. So look, man, I appreciate it. I'd love for you to stay in touch with us and, just kind of tag us. And if there's something cool that comes up and we can have another conversation, you're on the list. You're one of our launch episodes. So awesome. I appreciate you responding. Some things have to start slowly, and I believe this will start slowly, and I believe I can stay busy and just have fun talking to people about it. And when we get up there, we're going to come see you.
Can I put a plug in for my favorite band?
Oh, yeah. We didn't do this. Wait a minute. Yeah. I asked you to pull some albums that you're addicted to listen to right now. And please tell me what you got.
Okay, so I've got a wall. I got a Trust the Deaf Man wall. These guys are kind of out and getting some traction now, but I am a sucker for chick punk. I love a punk band fronted by a woman. Throw an accent in on top of that,
I
and
know where
it's
you're going
just
with
like
this.
you got me. So yeah, Emil and the Sniffers. Gotta love Emil and the Sniffers.
I know where you're going
Um,
with it. My neighbor is all over. Maybe he's not all over her, but he is all over that band. And he really likes that band. That they've got some really funny songs. I say funny;
they're
they're really good songs.
they're great. And I couldn't find a copy of the album, but the other one is the Lambrini Girls, which is British accent. So I'm a sucker for that too.
Okay,
One that I'm really waiting to dig into is Courtney Barnett. I love her. This just came out. Um, I love witty uh, lyrics, and I can't think of anybody that writes more literate, kind of witty, take you along for a goofy ride lyrics. And then being here in Appalachia, my jam these days really is what we call y'all alternative. So alt country, um, love, roots, Americana.
yeah,
Robert Plant's got an amazing album out called Amazing Grace. Getting ready to go see him up in Asheville, North Carolina. Love him. Um, Tyler Childers, We Can't Keep in the Store.
he's amazing.
But a couple that I'm really, there's a guy named Charlie Crockett that I'm really into.
Had the opportunity to see
Making
him at
sure.
a local festival down here. Charlie, they brought Charlie Crockett in. He was fantastic. Yeah.
And then Sturgill or Johnny Blue Skies.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing Sturgill at Bonnaroo many years ago in a shed, in one of the little sheds, the smallest ones there. And Metamodern Sounds that came out and just really blew my mind. And I remember going, this guy's something. And so I saw him in the shed, and then last time he was through Atlanta, he played, I think, State Farm Arena. So he's, selling out arenas.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard this one yet, the Johnny Blue Skies, the new one, but I've, I've heard from more people that have seen him live and said it's probably the best live show that they've seen. Bruce Springsteen level length and just energy, and so can't wait to dig into that and to go see him next time he comes through.
Yeah, Johnny Blue Skies, that was anticipated, that one coming out, and it lives up to everything. I love that he leaked it on YouTube and put it out there just to get everybody a little tease. I kind of wish I didn't listen to it, but I was rolling around town in my Jeep with a YouTube channel playing, and then all of a sudden they took it off, and they were like, okay, now you got to go buy it. And it was very smart, if you ask me, because he like topped out at number 3 in the charts for sold vinyl for the month or whatever it was. But it's a great album. I think you'll find that side 2 is a little bit more fun with whiskey, and side 1 is a little bit more it kind of ramps you up a little bit. So that's a really, really good one. I agree with you. And buy Sturgill. That's all I'm saying. Get all of his stuff. All of Sturgill is fantastic. I think I'm missing one album. So that's good, man. Thank you for remembering to do that. I was I kind of breeze right by what are you gonna listen to, and that is for sure. My 2 in the queue are coming up at the end of the show. So but look, Blue Ridge, Georgia, it is the vinyl mecca. How many stores are near you? Like, what's the next closest store to you guys?
So we actually were a 2-record store town until very recently. There was a bad fire, and the other record store, Big Frog Music, she was doing this back when it was hard. Cindy and Ricky were doing this back when it was hard. They were true believers 30, 40 years ago, flying the flag, and so they've had to shut down. And then we've got a great shop down in Ellijay, actually. My friend Jason has got Uniquely Ellijay, and he's got a great selection there. And then again, there's these kind of little antique mall guys that'll just take a little booth and put some records out. So a lot of that. Then we start getting down into Atlanta.
No, we're not going there. Let's not go there.
Yeah. Woodstock.
You're starting to stress me out. If I was envisioning myself in Blue Ridge and really calm, just sitting on a porch and listening to some vinyl I bought with you, but now you want me to go back to Atlanta and deal with all the traffic and all that stuff. Dude, I can't do that. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, I usually slip through it there at midnight on my way back from a concert, and so not too bad. But
we leave Blue Ridge and go through Rome, Georgia. We stay about 150 miles away from Atlanta and anything about it. I do like going to Atlanta, but leaving Blue Ridge, you want to stay in the country as long as you can, and that's
so you swing out to Rome. Interesting.
Yeah, we did it that way and took it all the way down. Well, and it was basically this has nothing to do with the podcast now, but the whole left side of Atlanta was shut down to traffic on the interstate, and it was a nightmare when we went up there about 5 years ago. So we just went way out of the way. So
yeah.
But anyways, look, it's a beautiful town. It is a cool looking store. I promise next time we get in the area, probably just come hang out with you.
It'd be great.
Just kind of hang out, and I'll take you to, is it Good People Beer? And I'll buy you a beer over there.
Yeah. We got Grumpy Old Men.
Old Man beer. That was it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, hey, Steffen, thanks so much. I appreciate you being on RPM. We'll watch for updates on your social media, and tell everybody what your socials are.
Yep, we've got Deafman Vinyl on just on YouTube. Got a great video out there about day in the life of a record store owner, and it's was getting about 1,000 views an hour and getting crazy comments. I might have a second career as a consultant, because everybody who's ever wanted to open a record store has called and, hey, how do you do it? And so it's been very cool, very affirming. Yeah, and then we're on, I think we're on Instagram too. My wife kind of handles all that. But
that's cool, man.
Deafman Vinyl at online is our store, and then on YouTube.
Very
I've
cool.
got a lot of videos about record care, record cleaning, all that good stuff.
I will tell you, and we'll end on this. You're on this show because I watched that video of you quitting life and starting a record store. So you're exactly,
That's great.
The video did something cool. I'm glad to meet you, and hope to see you up there soon.
Well, this has been cool, man. Thank you. I'm honored to be here with you.
Thanks, Steffen. It's time for 2 in the Queue. This time it is a Whatnot haul. First, we go up to Philadelphia. Found a new room. It's called Sook Vinyl, and the guy said, hey, you got to try out Pockets. Pockets is good. Also, one that I have been wanting for a while. My wife said it the other day. She goes, we don't have any Sam Cooke. And I said, I got you. So I found that on Whatnot in a very, very cool room. The room is called Rush Vinyl. Special thanks to Chris with Rush Vinyl on Whatnot. Send me a pretty cool note. Corey, great first purchase. Sam Cooke is so good. Enjoy the times, and I look forward to seeing you in future shows. Thanks so much. Peace. Chris. Shout outs to Sook Vinyl and Rush Vinyl on Whatnot. It's my 2 in the Queue for this week. What you got?